Sex work adjacent.
Sex work adjacent.
Welcome to Sex Work Adjacent 101.
101.
So, I'm trying to think. Video vixens from the early 2000s.
Video vixens?
Yes.
Oh, why video vixens?
You don't remember like BET After Dark?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Some of those women were getting naked. Some of those women were actually sex workers. They were strippers that were turned video vixens.
Those were sex workers, though.
Right, but no, I'm saying
some of them were actually sex workers.
some of them were actually sex workers, but some of them weren't. They were just video vixens. However, in BET After Dark, they were like naked, almost like softcore porn.
I don't think I ever watched BET After Dark, but I did like probably glanced at it once a time. But it was just too much titties for me.
But to me, when I look at that, I'm like, this is like
sex work.
This is giving sex work.
Yeah,
it might not be sex work outright, but it's
sex work adjacent.
The line. It's like sex work adjacent.
You're using sex to sell and make money. You're using sexual imaging to make money. So that's sex work.
You think that's
it's sex work adjacent.
What about Playboy, Hustler
that's
magazine,
sex work.
King magazine?
That's sex work adjacent too. I mean, it's not like it's sex work. You're selling sexual images to make money. They don't have like on a business suit. They don't have.
Why is that so funny?
They don't have. Well, because it's hilarious. They don't have magazines of business suits. So the girl's like, "Ow, this is over."
They're butt naked.
Well,
and the guys not always, but there will be. There will be. The center pages naked. The center pages, yes. So they will have them at first, maybe in their little bikinis, and they'll say, turn to page 15 to see what such and such has to show you.
But look, it's like, well, what did the girls have to even do to get to that? To get on the center page? The girls had to do something?
Are you insinuating that some of them may have had to actually,
to actually perform? To
get that opportunity?
Back in the 90s, girl, and come on. Women are always exploited. The feminine is always exploited to do things.
Yeah.
Not even just like cisgender women, but like trans women or just like feminine men. They gotta do stuff to exploit it. We already did the little ditty part, but we'll talk about that in another episode.
We will talk about that on another episode. But what about Hooters?
Hooters is sex work adjacent.
Okay, because they have their nanas pushed up.
Yeah, they got men now too, though.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They have men with the little short shorts on.
Oh, I love gender equality.
I do, though. It's no shade. Why not exploit the men too? Especially them little what do you call them? The daddy shorts.
Hoochie daddy shorts.
Hoochie daddy shorts give me life.
What? Not exploiting the men.
What? If you want to exploit somebody, exploit everybody. Yeah. But look, these people are signing up for the job. They're going to interviews. They are filling out job applications. This is consensual. This is what I'm talking about. Sex work adjacent. Consensual. These people are signing up for this. It's not something like they're getting exploited. We don't want to use that.
Yeah, I didn't say the word exploit. You said the word exploit jokingly. Jokingly, but no,
Yeah, because I'm like, girl, because I went to Hooters, no shade. And I'm like, these chicken wings is nasty.
I've never been to Hooters.
But I only went there because they were saying the chicken wings was good.
I'm like, girl, been to Hooters.
These girls in here, girl. But if they would have had men in hoochie daddy shorts in the Hooters, it's no shade. I was like, this chicken is not that bad.
Do you think the food tastes better depending on who you're attracted to?
It's not that bad. Yeah.
So they use the men and women as distraction.
As a distraction
for the food.
For the food. And look, sex work. Consensual selling sex for funds. Selling chicken wings. And I'm trying to tell you, he would have walked past me in an orange type. Oh, girl, let me calm down.
Yeah, let you calm down. All right. What about?
I gotta use my mic to say myself.
What about bottle girls?
Bottle girls, 100% bottle service.
Yes, bottle service.
100%. Yeah, that is sex work adjacent.
You think so?
Yeah. You don't think so?
I mean, I've been seeing some of the outfits they be wearing. They be having, their bottoms out, tops out. Giggling,
and women like to see other women too. Yeah, women like to see other women too, and they be like, "Girl, I want to see her." 1942. And get a whole bottle for $300. You get a bottle of something that you could have bought for $100.
We need to talk about the price surging, price gouging of the bottles, because it's no reason why Patron at the club should be $150, $200, $300.
It's $300 for bottle service
when it's literally like $65 in a liquor store.
Exactly, it's crazy. I did it that one time at band camp, and never again. Mind you, I didn't have to pay for it. My friend was a man. She always wanted this.
That is insane to me. Okay, but the bottle service you're saying is sex worker adjacent,
right? And then the thing about it too, also with those bars, is they exploit with that. I'm using exploit in the right sense, because like you're drunk, you taking their card here, or you giving the cash and don't come back with your don't immediately come back with your change. You're like, hold on, baby.
They're banking on you being intoxicated so you can forget about it. Or you can ask for another drink, and they're just like, oh, well, you already gave me $200 for what's only $60, and so I'm gonna keep the change, and whatever. You want another? Yeah, they don't feel like it's unethical for them to not give you your change back right away. Right. But they're gonna be mad at you. You said bottle girls are sex worker adjacent.
Yeah, they can be mad at me all they want.
They're going to be mad at you.
But this is why people have that negative connotation towards like sex work and sexuality, period. Because it's people use it to exploit. Not saying that these women are out there doing it purposely, but you have like owners. They be like, okay, do this, and then they gotta do it. You gotta make. And their job is to be a bartender or to service people. That is their job. And like, this is why sex work is also workers' rights. We have to incorporate workers' rights with it too, because it's like, if it's decriminalized, you have some type of like say so. You can report if there's any misconduct happening to you. You can say things are unfair, or different things like that. You could like mention things that are unsafe for you, and like get something done about it. But anything dealing with like in that type of service of like sexual or any type of way, people try to exploit in that way, because it's like they're putting it down. So it's like, oh well, you're gonna do it or else, that type of feeling with it.
So what about IG models? Because I be seeing some of these models, and they be
100%.
What kills me also, like some of these models, they will have their seductive pictures, and then in the link it's like OnlyFans, or what is it? What is that other platform that people use that starts with the P?
Plenty of Fish.
You're old. Plenty of Fish.
I never even been on Plenty of Fish before. Wink, wink.
That is. I was not talking about the dating site. I'm talking about it's another platform where people can lecture to people. Patreon.
Oh, Patreon.
Yeah, they had their Patreon link.
I didn't know they do that at Patreon.
I mean, they don't. There's always a loophole.
Which girl? Where you be looking at on there?
There's always a loophole. I don't. Anyway, what about smut?
Smut. No, explain what smut is.
So, sexually charged literature. So, what I'm saying is Zane. Remember the Zane books? I used to read the Zane books in high school. My mama used to let me read them. She didn't let me, but I was reading them. As long as I was reading,
right here too, y'all.
I could read the books.
I'm about to hear you say that.
But so 50 Shades of Grey. Smut.
So like that's sex work adjacent, I think, because they're using, even though it's not anything visual you can see other than like the cover page. It's the words, the imagery. They're selling sex.
They're selling a fantasy.
They're selling a fantasy of sex, and you're buying it, and you're getting your life. Who knows what you do in the privacy of your home when you listen to Zane at 17 years old. Reading Zane, but
get away from me,
Ma. She's over here, but but no, you could do that. I mean, like nothing's wrong with that. But I mean, that's definitely sex work adjacent. And it's not really looked down upon, especially because it's literature.
Literature. I like how you pronounce literature.
Yeah, literature.
Literature. So what else? Is there something? Oh, you know what I think about when you talk about it being literature and the words and the imagery. You can't really see it, but the words that they use to describe are very, engaging, to say the least. What about rappers like Lil' Kim?
That's sex work.
Lil' Kim, she called you. She called you a sex worker.
That's sex work.
Lazima called you a sex worker.
I didn't call her. Didn't she call herself there? Remember that rumor was going around about her back in the day? Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. I don't remember that rumor, and I don't want to repeat it either.
All the swallowing of stuff and the vomiting of it. Anyway, yeah. So we came as sex work adjacent, like rappers in the industry. Period. You're selling sex, sexual energy, selling sex to get money. That's sex work. It's nothing.
Some of Lil' Kim's lyrics are so raunchy. I love Lil' Kim, by the way. Lil' Kim, you see this? I love you, girl.
Full of dudes in it, though. You love her?
You my girl.
She said she loves you, Lil' Kim.
I do.
You'll be doing her little
coming in this game on some modeling. What?
The cat video took me over that they did with the little tape on the hands, girl. Anyway.
You need to stop. No, but I think about that when I listen to some of their lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, damn, you were selling a fantasy, darling.
Yeah, but a lot of people do that. And there's nothing wrong with it. We're not saying all this because something is wrong with it. We're just saying, like, sex work is around more than you really think about it. So it's like, why not invest in knowing more about it? I feel like sex in itself, and I'm gonna go back to what we were talking about right quick. I feel like because sex is so taboo, when you want to learn about something, you're going to learn about it anywhere you get it. If it's from magazines, smut that you used to look at, listen to, or Lil' Kim, like
she's so annoying.
You're going to find out about it because you want to know. So why not have
she still reads smut?
She writes. I've never read smut.
She writes it actually.
I've never read smut. So she's not
denying the writing of it though. She's not denying.
I've never read smut. So but yeah, you're going to try to find out about it any way you can, in any way. So it's like there should be education about it, not like sex education and stuff like that, but not from just like any random people, but just like sex positivity, healthy sexuality, like stuff like that. That should be something that people really invest in, and not be used anymore to control. Because you can use that shame that people have over sex to control others. And that's really the bottom line issue also. It's like it's a control thing.
It's a control. One thing that she's mentioned didn't mention that I want to mention is she thinks mukbangs where the people eat on camera is sex work adjacent.
Is sex work adjacent. Girl, are you serious? The way you putting the whole thing in the mouth like that and the sauce be running down the mouth? That is sex work adjacent. Especially when the dudes take the whole chicken. I like when the men do it. They put the whole chicken bone in the mouth and then slide it out. And they be just eating the
SMAR.
Ooh.
Why did I say SMAR? What is that?
ASMR. I'm like, what was that acronym? SMAR. Shaking my round. Anyway, so
ASMR.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Kenya. How are you doing today? We're talking about ASMR.
We're gonna do a whole episode in ASMR. ASMR. I hate ASMR.
You hate it? Why do you hate it?
I don't like it because it's weird noises. It depends on if you got on headphones. It kind of irritates me. Depending on who's doing it, though.
I think it's supposed to be relaxing for some people.
No, it is relaxing for some people. I can dig it because when some people do it, it's like they do nice sounds, but like other people do it, it's irritating. But they're doing like a really sexual, sensual thing. I think that's sex work adjacent. ASMR.
Do you think that's sex work adjacent too?
It is. It's nothing wrong with that, though. $1
million in your bank account tomorrow. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus.
I will be writing a check for $150 million to myself so I can get that very, very soon. Anyway, so yeah, that's like it's nothing wrong with that. You know, but people that listen to that, some of it is relaxing for some people. It's like, this soothes my soul. Some people are nasty. I'm not gonna say people are nasty. Some people are aroused.
You're nasty.
Some people are aroused. I mean, you know, when you say nasty, see how you get like a little negative part, but it's something
that was from Raven Simone, and that's I know. Raven.
She said that's a. I just had a vision.
And you're champ for this.
Oh, no.
You talking about I just
had a vision, girl. Hold on. Okay. Anyway. Yeah. So you're gonna be you're gonna dress up as a security guard, and you're gonna go. Anyway. Yeah. So ASMR is sex work adjacent. There's a lot of things that are sex work adjacent, and I feel like when we talking about these different things really is helpful for individuals also. And also, let's talk about it during sex work. When I was doing sex work, and other people I've known, you are like a therapist also. You're therapy for some people.
So it's not just the exchange of sexual services.
Oh no,
it's soft skills are important.
It's you. You are you. It's you. Your whole self is involved in sex work.
Okay.
So it's like, why is that? Why do I have to be criminalized for myself? And that's all I'm selling is me, who I am.
Right.
And I would talk to guys. They would have all these different things that they speak about, especially being trans and being a feminine energy. Guys like to talk about their wives or other females and like to be validated about different things that they experience, and they wanted to talk about it. And then after that, they want to screw, and there's nothing wrong with that. They want
to do what?
They want to screw. But for me, I was too nice. I'm gonna say I was too nice for sex work.
She's an old head. No one uses that word anymore.
But she wanted to be PG-13. He wanted to screw. He wanted to do the 1 and the 2, and sometimes the 3s. Oh. So we have this whole therapy session. Now he feels good and stuff like that, and then boom, we do the 1s and the 2s, and then payment is done. I was too nice because I never really charged them for that, because I was just like, oh, they're not feeling well, let me help them feel better. And then it's like I felt like some honor behind it. I was like very, very honorable, when it came to doing sex work. I didn't want to like make sure they like pleased and make sure all of this stuff, but I should have charged more for that.
What's the most you've ever charged?
The most I've ever charged, $500.
Oh,
yeah. If you was to ask for something right now, it would be way more than that.
How much?
I'm not saying.
I'm just kidding.
No, you're not. Just kidding. See what he wanted to know. But yeah. So those are some things that are sex work adjacent. I think we cover everything except for pole. What you got? Pole fitness dancing.
I didn't put that. Haley put that.
What is pole fitness dancing?
Haley is a member of Swag. Shout outs to Haley.
Oh, hey Haley.
But
Haley.
I think there's this trend of people advertising how to use the pole to lose weight, to become more toned, and essentially that is sex work adjacent, because it's like you can use it for that. But also, you can use it if you want to put on a performance for someone special in your life, or not.
Isn't that a stripper though?
But dancers don't always dance for their significant others. They're dancing
for your private dancer for money. Do what you want me to do.
What were those faces?
That was how Tina Turner does it. She's like, do what you want me to do.
The Tina Turner I know is not but city limit.
That's old Tina though.
I love that. That's Anime Bullock.
Girl, she's literally talking about what stuff
had done the two misdirected.
Was a little girl.
Not but city limit.
That scene was turning it. No, you remember that scene?
I do.
Baby.
Ike. Watch this.
I turned it. I know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was mildly aroused. I'm not gonna lie. I hate myself for saying that, but I was because it was a movie. Remember that it was a movie. I don't know. It must be something how I was raised. I was really young, and my grandmother let me watch this movie. I think what's her name? White lady. She was in a pool table. She's in a pool hall dancing with all the men, and then real sexual, like, cause she wanted to enjoy herself, enjoy her femininity, and then they took her on a pool table, all the men, and she took on the court and all that stuff. You remember that movie?
That sounds like a Lifetime movie.
Girl, my grandmother knew I was watching it, girl, and she just let me watch it.
How did that go from the Tina Turner biopic?
Because you mentioned the Netflix too many times, and when she was in the booth, that's what happened after she was singing that song.
But how did you just go from that to this movie?
Because that movie
being assaulted.
Because it was like something I saw. It was like in a movie, and it was like something that really stuck with me. And I was like, "Oh my god!" But why did she let me look at that? That assault like that.
That is really sad.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But
she moved too fast for that. I had a moment. No. I just wanted to be transparent for a moment.
You already had me.
But that was it wasn't good. It wasn't a good situation that happened to Miss Turner
at all.
And I know that scene was probably hard for her to do, but it happened, but that's not all sex is. That's a part of that happens in sex. And with people, that even happens with husbands and wives, like in that movie. Mm-hmm. That's not the only reason that things happen like that. But then you have sex work does exist. You have people that have been traumatized in that way, and they want to have like an escort. Mm-hmm. They just don't want to actually have intercourse with someone. Mm-hmm. They just want to have like a male company or a female company to help them feel better about sexuality and feeling that for someone. So you have sex workers that actually do that. Or therapy for people that have experience being SA. So it's a whole therapy thing. Like it's a thing that happens in nature, and I think that's always the worst of it when it comes to sex in itself, which creates this big debate. So that's why I felt like I should have just spoke about it in that moment. Because why not? Because it does.
Yeah, it does happen. It does happen. Thank you for sharing that. I do appreciate that. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. Can I say nut bus city limit one more time?
You can say it one more time. I'm not going there again.
Nut bus city limit.
You is terrible. So I think that was all of the sex work adjacent. If y'all have any sex work adjacent things that y'all know of, y'all want to put them in the comments. Put it in the comments. If you have an ish. One of the ones we mentioned, girl, put it in the comments. Let's fight about it.
Put it in the comment now. Put it in the comment
now. Let's fight about it. Like, what's the tea?
She ain't gonna fight nobody.
I'm not gonna fight about nobody.
At all.
But no. The stereotypes, too. Since we want stereotypes. Okay. I remember my daughter niece was like, she told me about this like a year ago of doing this podcast. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of like, okay.
Well, it was actually this year, but...
Anyway, so I was, of course, I always tell her yes, and I do. Because like, okay, I'll do it. Let's do it. But it just didn't really hit me until we went to that bar.
Oh gosh,
we went to the bar, and my daughter niece, you cannot say you are an attorney. She's an attorney. She's an attorney, and so she's talking to a friend of hers that at the bar. That I think he's like a manager. I don't know. Anyway,
we're just going to
fast forward that. But yeah, he is. We have a conversation with him, and he's talking to her about what she does. She tried to flower it up so cute because she knows how people are. I do too, but I would have just said it at first. She's like, "Oh, I deal in policy. I deal with this," and say all these other things, sex work, and then blah, 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 blah. He was like, "Sex work." That's the only thing he heard. I was like, girl, you didn't even have to fluff that. You should have just said that.
I wasn't fluffing it. Fluffing it is like not saying it. I said it amongst the other things that I do.
But it was strategically placed. But he still, it was strategically placed in the middle of all the other things that you do. And he still responded the way he did. And he went in. He like, oh, so y'all for pimps?
Never been for no
damn pimp. How does that make sense? That don't even make sense.
We're for pimps. We encourage human trafficking, sex trafficking. What about the kids? Yes. What about the children?
All of these questions, all of these connotations came up. And I'm like, do people really think that? And I'm like, you know what? I've said what I do to other people, and they said the same exact things to me. So I was like, you know what? We do need to do this podcast because people automatically just think pimps. I even talked to a pimp not too long ago and told him what I do. He was like, oh, so yeah, we cool. I'm like, oh, we're not cool. You with human trafficking. I'm not with that.
That is, yeah, no.
Yeah.
We're on the record.
And why are you 23 telling us he was a pimp?
He's a liar. We're on the record saying we do not support pimping.
We do not support pimping or any type of human trafficking.
Human trafficking, sex trafficking. Of any sort. Like I mentioned, there was a bill in DC that would have decrim sex work while also prohibiting sexual assault, including rape and sex trafficking, human trafficking. Yes. So just want to make that very clear. And we're going to talk more about that within, the episodes of this podcast. But no, that convo, I was like, whoa, hold up now.
But let's go back to this movie about the four brothers.
Let's ease into it. You just went right. You just said all that.
Go ahead.
From that one thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't even segue into it, did I?
Oh, no, not you. I'm talking about the bar combo. All of that came out from me just saying that I am an advocate to decrim sex work.
Yes, we're both advocates for decrim sex work. What?
Oh my gosh, my mom's in the background. I'm not even going. I'm not going into that conversation yet.
So I'm glad she had her mom. Her mom had the headphones on the whole time. Now the headphones are off.
She's so
childish. No, because I want her to hear what her daughter been talking about.
She's about to be childish. She's about to be childish. Her daughter.
No, go ahead. I'm just saying.
Her daughter, who's an adult.
Ow! That's my sister mother over there.
Her daughter, who's an adult.
She is an adult now.
Thank you very much. But Four Brothers.
Yeah.
What about Four Brothers?
It was a quote that you told me about.
Okay.
It was from Four Brothers.
Broho?
No, it was from Four Brothers.
What did the girl say?
You don't pay a hoe to fuck. You pay a hoe to leave.
Yikes. When I first heard that quote, I was like, oh. But this is kind of philosophical.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of philosophical. Yeah, it was. I was like, oh. Sometimes people say things and you're like, did they mean to be that deep?
Yeah.
Well, what did you get from that quote?
It just reminded me. So I talk about sex work. I've done sex work. But it wasn't always something that I really like. I didn't enjoy it all the time, honestly. I just something I had to do. But it made me think about the leaving process. Because I was young. I was like 18, 17, 18, 19, 20, really just experiencing sex, and falling in love after every little occasion. And you know how it is when you're feminine and you have it and then you all like stigmatized and in love and stuff like that.
I told her to keep it PG-13. That is not PG-13, y'all.
You all what? Are you all hot dog inside? You all, you are in love. And when they leave, you are heartbroken.
When you leave.
Yeah, when I leave or when they leave, Yeah. But when I leave them, when they leave, I'm heartbroken. Especially with all the interactions that goes into it. I found that a lot of the dates that I did, they like you to feel like you are in love with them and that they love you. And I think that gets the best energy, sexual energy from them. And in doing that, it breaks your heart if you really believe it, when it's genuine. And I constant heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak. And it became really, really hard to bear, which is why drug abuse happened. Because I'm like, girl, I cannot even think. And then you become more detached from sex because of that. and you know how to work it. You know how to make someone believe that you love them without actually doing it, because it's a safety measure. And then even trying to find love after that, especially guys, if they know that you've done sex flirting, well, you know how to make somebody fall in love with you. And I had someone like that tried to be in a relationship with me and just kept saying it, like, oh, you know how to make somebody feel good. And I'm like, you are just like an awful person. Like, I shouldn't even be with you right now, because
you're a piece of doo-doo.
You was a piece of doo-doo. You really are. Like, I'm really trying to feel you, but I do fall very quickly and very fast, and I'm learning not to do that, because I don't believe in testing people per se, but definitely have to like gradually get into it. I don't afford someone my whole self just from like that encounter, and like limiting what you do sexually. Also, you can't slob on everybody's knob. You can't give kisses to everyone. You just really can't.
So are you saying, you have to be strategic on who you're, like, the level of intimacy?
The level of intimacy. If you're like someone like me, the level of intimacy you have to.
Are you saying intimacy or intimacy?
I'm saying the word that I just said.
And which was that?
I said intimacy.
Okay.
Is she trying my lisp?
No, you are not going to make me like I'm ableist. No. She mispronounced the word.
I have a speech
She mispronounced the word.
Okay. So intimacy.
Yes, darling.
And yes, and this is not coming from like this is coming from my experience of doing sex work, into putting that into how I am, like, on a regular basis. I'm no longer in sex work, but I still don't do those specific things, because I know how intimate I can be. I know how I can fall for someone, and that is like a layer of protection for myself. Let someone earn those things, and don't let nobody make you feel bad for not doing the things that you don't want to do. Right. Male or female, because women can be like, "Oh, you gay, you don't want to." Don't let her do that. I feel like that's SA to me.
What you say?
Would a woman be like to a dude, cisgender man, be like, "Oh, but you gay, or you don't want to do that"? That's SA, and he does it just to prove he's not. That's SA to me. That's mine. That's a mind fuck, a mind F, and I feel like that's SA. Especially growing up in the religious way I was. A lot of people want to feel like, oh, they don't want to burn, they don't want to displease God, and then you force someone to do something, and it's like you force someone to do something just to prove that they're not. But being gay, and I'm going to a slightly another subject, but being gay is not an action. And I think it's made my community so promiscuous, because you're like, oh, I have to engage in sexual intercourse just to prove that I'm gay, or say that I'm gay. I'm only gay because I had sex. But no, you can be a virgin and be like, I'm gay. Like, I know what I like. I know who I love. It's about loving someone.
Yeah.
And like, you can say that you're gay. And I'm pro asexuality. I think asexual people are dismissed from the subject all the time, because there are people who are. I had a spot of asexuality for a while, honestly, and I am pro that too. And pro, if you want to be absent, if you want to abstain from sex, you don't have to do it.
Right.
But there are other ways to be intimate, and that's why we were mentioning also different types of sex work too. It's like sugar, like what you said, sugar. If you never heard what sugar was, you're just being like doing girlfriend thing, acting like you're someone's girlfriend, and being nice to them, talking to them, and that takes a whole toll on you too.
That's the cutesy version. There are some sugar that involves sugar. If you catch my drift.
I don't catch your drift.
You do catch my drift.
What are you trying to say? You mean like actual granulated sugar?
No, I mean actually having sex.
Oh, that word. Okay.
You're so silly. But when I hear that quote from Four Brothers, I look at the transaction. Like, it sounds very transactional. Like,
yeah,
we're not really being intimate in the way where I'm trying to be long term with this person. I'm just trying to do what I have to do.
Yeah.
pay my money if there's money involved, and then you're gone. I don't have to worry about you. There's no emotional attachment. It's very transactional.
And that's true. And I think most of the interactions when it comes to sex work is transactional in that way, just in that way. And everything's not like Pretty Woman. And that's going to be our next episode. We're going to talk about movie. We're going to talk about what is it called? Pop culture and sex influence and mass media. Like different, we're going to talk about different shows and movies and what that inspired in society.
And even songs. Like, how does that influence the stereotypes that we just mentioned? And how does it either increase or decrease stigma associated with the sex industry?
Right. Sex trade. So on our next episode, we will get into all of that.
Yes, so you will.
So thank you so much for listening to us today. If you like, share our post, comment if you have any questions. And also, we call it Untitled Talk because we don't know what we're going to name this podcast yet.
Right.
So we're going to leave it up to you guys.
Yeah, we're going to brainstorm on a list of names. We're going to do a poll, and we want you to vote on what our podcast should be titled. So for now, we are Untitled Talk, and thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you.